Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Rosana Romero, digital anchor for 7 at 7 in Español, and Jim Prather, executive director of digital programming for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
With Nevada's only transplant center and verified burn center, the science is here. With award-winning cardiologist and the state's only dedicated heart failure clinic, the talent is here. With Nevada's most advanced robotic surgery, the technology is here. And with the Silver State's only designated pediatric trauma center, hope is here. All because we are here. UMC.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Do you play golf? The Optimist Club of Reno is hosting the inaugural Ray Pezzanella Memorial Charity Golf Tournament on June 3rd at the Lake Course at Red Hawk Golf and Resort. For more information, go to pezgolf.org. Funds raised go to benefit local children's programs.
Nevada Newsmakers Studio is located at the headquarters of the Nevada Trucking Association. Motion and purpose are a truck's greatest virtue.
Why do we keep sending Mark Amodei to Congress? Amodei voted to grant benefits and citizenship to illegal immigrants. He funds Planned Parenthood, over $600 million per year, and his reckless budget votes have caused painful inflation. Amodei was silent on defunding the police, COVID vaccine mandates, and eliminating election safeguards. Is this a voting record you want from your congressman?
My name is Danny Tarkanian. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're delighted to welcome to the program for the first time for both of them, Jim Prather of the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Rosana Romero, who is the digital anchor for 7 at 7 in Español, which is launching next month. Let's start with you, Rosana. First of all, pleasure to have you both here. This is something that is very exciting for so many reasons. I've talked to your director of marketing for the corporation, and he tells me that the Hispanic population of Clark County is within the next few years going to reach 42% of the population. That is an amazing number. What are your thoughts on that?
That is correct. And we are very happy and thrilled to be able to launch 7 at 7 in Español and to serve to that community. The Latino community, the population is growing super fast, and knowing that that number can even go up, not only in a few years, but maybe 5 years, 10 years, it's something that we have to pay attention to, and we are doing it. So that's why we are very happy and thrilled and working super hard to have 7 at 7 in Español for the Latino audience here in Southern Nevada.
Jim?
And everywhere, actually.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, because being online, the whole world can see it. Jim, the regular 7 at 7 broadcast has been an incredible success over the last couple of years because you have followed this digital strategy of not just being on a website, but being on all these different platforms as well. You came from a broadcast TV background at Channel 13, the ABC affiliate, for many years as general manager over there. What did that tell you about what the potential was for this digital side?
Well, one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to keep up and move at the speed of the audience. The audience is moving to the smartphone. That is their preference for news content consumption. And so all our content that we're creating, both on 7 at 7 English and 7 at 7 Español, is really targeted at that audience with a smartphone, with a YouTube account, on social media. And we really are very excited about the opportunity to reach a new audience, We had over 8 million video streams in our first year of 7 at 7 on the English side, and you're reaching a lot of different kinds of users in different places. They can watch the content in their home, they can watch it as they're working, and if you have your smartphone with you, we're right there with you to deliver the content from the largest newsroom in the state of Nevada.
Rosana, it's been very interesting for me with Nevada Newsmakers. We've been online since 2005, so we've been around a long time. We started podcasts shortly after that, and the growth in the audience is in those digital platforms, and especially the podcasts. And so you're primed to really hit this audience. Also, I have found in my connection with the Hispanic community that they are unbelievable users of telephone technology. So this really is a great way to reach the audience where they live.
It is. And example of that is it's me. Coming from a TV world, I have TV in every single room in my house, but in the last 5 years or even more, I've been using my cell phone for everything, to get my news updates, of course, weather, and also to listen to podcasts and watch news. So digital news for me was my main way to get everything that I needed. And so one day I was like, Rosana, you don't need that many of TV anymore at your house. So I do everything using my phone, and YouTube is my primary channel. And then as a Latina, because we have to communicate with our friends and family everywhere, actually, in other countries, we use Facebook a lot. And yes, Latinos, we use cell phone and technology. We're very friendly users of technology, so this is great.
One of the things, Rosana, that I have looked at, and I've been studying the Hispanic market for over 30 years through the advertising agency side of my business, and there's been a great disconnect between the Anglo community and the Hispanic community, and also pointing out that the Hispanic community is not a monolith. I mean, it's many, many different cultures that are under that banner. But it seems like, with the exception of huge companies like the Walmarts and the Targets, that these two communities are not interacting in business, and that means lost dollars. What do you think that 7 at 7 in Español can do to help start bridging that divide?
We're going to talk to them as, Latinos, from a Latina to you, a Latino. So we know how they shop, we know what they consume, we know what they watch. And so we pretend to know what exactly they want to hear and get their news from. So we are trying very hard to be their friends. And like you mentioned, we are Latinos from everywhere, not only from Mexico. Even though the Mexican community here, it's the majority, then we have Cubans. We have people from Central America, like me from South America. Even though I've been living here more than 20 years in Southern Nevada, I know a lot about my community. And we are a big community. We have different needs. We have different issues. We have unique culture. And that disconnection between the Anglo community and the Latino, we're trying to be the bridge somehow and be able to connect with them and be here for them, and to have 7 at 7 in Español being their primary news where they watch the news.
Jim, there's a huge opportunity from a business perspective, and you had to have looked at that when you were in broadcast TV. Is there a larger opportunity for business connections through doing something like 7 at 7 in Español?
It's the fastest segment of population growth in Clark County, and we've got to be there to serve that audience. And we're uniquely qualified. We've recently done some research which shows that the Hispanic audience trusts us. They trust the Las Vegas Review-Journal brand. And that's very important. Once you start with that trust as a foundation, we're delivering news that no one else in the city does. We've got the largest newsroom in the state. We've got reporters in Washington, D.C. and Carson City covering the news of the day in state government, national politics, and with Rosana, 20 years experience in covering the Las Vegas community, we have someone who knows how to talk and how to approach the Hispanic community on the issues of the day. And let's not forget, we share a lot of common concerns. Clark County School District, what's happening inside the schools. If you're Anglo, if you're Spanish, you are concerned about what is happening inside the schools, from school performance to the issues that involve school violence in our community. So we're there to serve all the audience, but we really believe this is a pathway to really connect to a fast-growing audience that our clients want to serve as well. And we want to provide a pathway to get that message to them.
Okay, so Rosana, let me throw this out there. There is absolutely no difference in the needs, wants, and requirements of the Hispanic community versus the Anglo community or any other community, correct? You still got to buy clothes, you got to buy laundry, you got to buy houses, you got to buy cars. It's all opportunity.
Yes, a lot of opportunities. But like I mentioned before, we have different issues. And in our culture, that brings something different to the perspective of delivering news to that audience. For example, here in Nevada, as you know, we have the driver authorization card that was approved by our governor then, Brian Sandoval. Those type of things that helps our community and the immigrant community, really, we need to embrace those things. Like Jim mentioned, education is important to us. Here in Southern Nevada, 62% of the students are Latinos or coming from a Latino household. Some of the schools are 98% of their students only speak Spanish. And the police department, they only have 18% of their police force that are Latinos or Latinas. So we share the same issues, I'm gonna say, but we have different needs. And the Latino community, as it's growing super fast. And then we have these young kids that they blend into this Anglo culture very well. They go to school, they learn English, they buy their cars, they looking for a job, they have dreams, but at the end of the day, they go home and they speak Spanish. They consume something different. They go to the Latino supermarket, they listen to Latino music, they still do what the culture they've been doing at home. And that is a different, and that we're trying to embrace and to work with them, with the community.
Jim, obviously you were looking at Telemundo, you were looking at Univision and other Hispanic networks. Those two groups have news departments in Las Vegas, but they have never really broken out in a way that the Review Journal has broken out in terms of their news coverage. And I think there's always been a huge advantage to being a newspaper. It brings a whole different mindset than a regular TV news department. How do you view it from your past experience to now?
Well, looking at it from my perspective today, we've got a deep pool of talent on the newspaper side, covering the news of the day. We've got 6 crime reporters covering what's happening in the city. We have more than 5 business reporters and editors who are targeting content in the business community. And the television stations have that depth. They don't have the quality of the people that we see on the print side and now the digital side. And so we really have an inherent advantage, just being able to have contact sources and being able to break stories that no one else is going to tackle. We also have a really strong investigations team. And it's one of those things that we want to do stories and be the leader in the community and serving the community, both Hispanic as well as Anglo, and be the one who is breaking the news content, and not just breaking news accidents, breaking the news that people are really concerned about in terms of the school district, in terms of the water issue in our community, in terms of what's happening in Carson City and Washington, D.C. with our local politicians. So it's just a different approach. Television is great at a lot of things, including breaking news, but we have really stepped up our breaking news commitment, and now we're measuring with them step by step. If there's a major Governor Sisolak news conference, we're going to live stream it. Not only are we going to live stream it, we're going to report in real time. And so these are some of the advantages that we have with the quality of the staff and our approach now in a digital world, because it's really an even playing field. We're all trying to reach that audience on a smartphone and wherever they may be getting their news.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with Jim Prather and Rosana Romero. They're putting together the review journals 7 at 7 in Español, and we'll be right back after this.
Ahern Rentals began as Signal Gas Station on Las Vegas Boulevard. Founder John Ahern grew the business by offering rentals. His son Don built on John's legacy, growing Ahern Rentals into the largest independently owned American rental company, with 89 locations in 30 states. Don also brought his experience and vision to equipment manufacturing with Extreme Manufacturing and Snorkel. Today, Ahern Rentals continues to bring its family values to a new generation. Learn more at ahern.com.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com. I'm here at the Carson Valley Inn in Minden with Joey Whitaker. Entertainment here at the Carson Valley Inn is extraordinary.
Yeah, super proud of the TJ's Corral, our outdoor venue, about 1,500 seats. We've had first-class entertainment out there. We've had Merle Haggard, we've had Chris Young, we've had Lee Brice a couple times, we've had Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, who's in the Hall of Fame. We're real proud out there, and it's just a great time. Watch CarsonValleyInn.com and grab those tickets early. It's not a long way to get away to the Carson Valley Inn.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Rosana Romero. She is the digital anchor, and Jim Prather is Executive Director of Digital Programming for 7 at 7 in Español, part of the Las Vegas Review Journal. You know, Rosana, the numbers you threw out there are just stunning, that 62% of students are Hispanic in Clark County, 98% in some areas only speak Spanish. One of the things that's been very interesting is the role of law enforcement with the Hispanic community, because in some ways they are, in some areas, enforcing immigration rules, for example. On the other hand, and I talk to a lot of sheriffs, and they say to me, you know, across the state, that it's very important for them to have trust within those communities, so when there's a problem, they have people to reach out to. What's your perspective on that?
There's a lot to do. We need to do more. I mean, every institution, like the police departments, not only Metro, but also North Las Vegas. Remember, City of North Las Vegas, they have the fastest growing business owners among Latinos in the whole country. 62% of their of their business owners are Latinos or with the Latino last names. That is a big thing. With that, the law enforcement, how many officers do they have in City of North Las Vegas or the police department there? Metro, they only have 80% of their officers speak Spanish or identify as Latino, but we are 38, almost 40, 42% of the Latino community here in Southern Nevada. So there's a lot to do, and we always appreciate when they're trying to speak to us in Spanish, or when they want to get our vote. When the election is coming, but the work needs to be done every day, the whole year, and that is something that we'd like to see more. I'm going to say we always trying to get in communication with them. I know they're doing a great job trying to recruit more Latinos, but we do have a big gap. We still need to do more.
Okay, Jim, I remember when Bob Brown was the publisher of the Las Vegas Review-Journal several years ago. He went to Washington, D.C. to get more political advertising for the RJ newspaper and was told that people who read newspapers have already figured out who they're going to vote for, so therefore there's no reason to spend money on advertising. How are you seeing that now that you're offering digital platforms? Is there a greater interest in politics, both for the Anglo and Hispanic versions of 7 at 7?
Yes, politics is crucial. The coverage that we have to provide for the audience that reads our online editions, that looks at lvrj.com and soon to be rjespanol.com. They are looking for quality news coverage of the big election cycle that we're in the middle of right now. And they also want to know what's happening in Carson City that's going to affect their pocketbook, and what's happening that is going to affect the way they're able to live their lives. And you know, when you look at our digital audience, Sam, it's very interesting. Adults 25-54, 75% of our users, both in English and Spanish, are in that younger category, the coveted category for advertisers, adults 25-54. So the print product serves a certain segment of the population, but we are very proud of our ability to deliver to a younger audience, adults 25-54, on a daily basis, and deliver the news and information that they need.
Okay, let's take another break and we'll be right back with Rosana Romero and Jim Prather. They are both putting on 7 at 7 in Español out of Las Vegas, but available to everybody across the state. We'll be right back. Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Events Center in Las Vegas. Host meetings and events on 2 floors. Stay in luxurious rooms and suites. Unlimited branding opportunities. Regional Italian cuisine by Chef Mark Segrisi. Flexible event spaces. Full buyout options. Visit ahernhotel.com today.
Everyone is talking about opioids, but they're not the only drugs that can be harmful if taken in large quantities or not as prescribed. You also need to be aware of side effects from anxiety drugs, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, and stimulants. Mixing prescription drugs with other drugs or alcohol can be dangerous. If you take an Ambien with a glass of wine, it may be enough to stop you from breathing. Prescribed drugs can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. Take medications only as directed.
Hi, I'm Renee Summerhour, digital news anchor here at 7 at 7. Watch our streaming nonstop newscast immediately with your mobile phone. 7 at 7 is the new way for you to get every bit of local news you need in just 7 minutes. Breaking news, local neighborhood news, weather, and sports are just a click away. Reporters bring you all of what's happening in the Valley. From Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube, and more. Get every bit of local news you need from the RJ and LVRJ.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Rosana Romero, digital anchor for 7 at 7 in Español, and Jim Prather, executive director of digital programming for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Rosana, you know, especially doing a political program, this is, I think, an interesting question for our audience, which is that people tend to take the Hispanic community politically as a monolith, and it seems like that is completely wrong, that it is just as varied as any other community, but if it was going to lean in a direction, it would seem that it would lean more conservative because of Catholic background, business opportunities, those kind of things. Am I dead wrong there, or do I have something?
That is the belief, I'm going to say, but you'll be surprised to see other Latinos talking about other issues as well. Our dream is not no more to own a house. For some it is still, but now they switch it to education, access to healthcare, access to more information, and the most important thing, I always said to the candidates or to whoever wants to reach out to the Latino community, don't just try to reach out to us 2-3 days before those election days or a week before. Actually do a research, study us, go and talk to people, business owners, students, teachers, to everyone, so you can understand our culture and then work with us. So you will have a better result if you actually communicate and talk to us. Not only pretend that you know about Latino community because you know how to say hola or buenos dias. No, there's more than that, and there's a lot to do.
You know, a lot to do, and as a businessman, I look at it as potentially a lot of money because, you know, people should be involved business-wise in these two communities. Jim, just give us the details on the launch of 7 at 7 in Español.
We're launching May 4th. We'll be across all platforms, rjespañol.com. We'll also be on RJ Español YouTube. We're also on Apple, Fire TV, and Roku as well. So you can join us on the website, and you can join us wherever you watch news.
Well, thank you both very much for doing this. Good luck with the launch. I know it's going to be huge, and we look forward to having you both back on the program. Thank you for doing this today.
Thank you,
Sam.
And we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Because of UMC, I'm putting my free time to good use.
Because of UMC, she keeps me on my toes.
Because of UMC and this guy, I'm here.
UMC, the highest level of care in Nevada.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday. Trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. You can also check our archive going back to 2005 on our website. Again, NevadaNewsmakers.com. We'll see you on the next show.